part of winter, it's hard to picture spring, let alone summer, but those warm days will soon be upon us.
We all can't wait for that. And our next guest is here to help us to think spring with easy container gardening. Charlie Nardozzi is a nationally recognized gardening expert and the author of Vegetable Gardening for Dummies, as well as contributor to other books and magazines. Charlie, thanks for being here.
It's great to be here.
So we're definitely going to be doing some gardening today because I could tell with your hat.
That's right. I got the hat, we got some soil, and we got things to plant, so we'll get right into it.
All right, let's talk about some of the tips that you actually have here for us.
Right. A lot of people don't have enough room to garden. Or they may have a balcony or a back deck or patio. So these are container gardens. It's a great way to grow vegetables in small spaces. So this one is called a grow bag. And it's got some bright colors to it, and it's made out of polypropylene. It breathes air out so it doesn't get too wet, but it'll hold enough moisture. So what we have going on here is a potato grow bag. So we fill it up with some potting soil, pop in some spud potatoes right there. We'll put some more soil over this. You just put it out, make sure you get maybe 3 or 4 hours of sun a day for this. And by the end of the season, you'll have a bag full of potatoes.
Now, these are spud potatoes?
Yeah, this is how you grow potatoes. You grow them from little baby potatoes.
Okay, so you just plant it in there and that's it.
And
They're just going to grow?
Exactly. They'll
Really?
just grow without doing anything else.
When's a good time to start this process?
This will probably be in May around here. You want to start this whole process. And by August, you'll have about 13 pounds of potatoes.
Yeah,
lots of potatoes.
He has a lot of soil in here, so what do we need to put in this?
So you have your potting soil in here,
Yes,
which is really important.
soil.
You don't want to use regular garden soil. And then you can maybe mix a little compost in. But potatoes are pretty forgiving. They'll grow in pretty much anything.
What about watering them?
Yeah, you got to keep them moist.
Right.
That's the key. And that's what's nice about these bags is that they breathe, but they also hold a lot of moisture in them, too.
All right, very good.
Yeah, so if you want to get a little more sophisticated,
Yes.
there are these containers that are called self-watering pots or containers. They come in round or rectangular shapes. You could see that they have a false bottom here. So what you do is you fill it up with water through this spout, and it has a water reservoir underneath it. Then you put your soil on top of that. What ends up happening is through the miracle of osmosis, the water moves from down in the reservoir up into the soil and keeps it moist for 3, 4, maybe even 5 days.
What are we making in here? What are we growing in here?
Well,
Is it
glad you
herbs?
asked. We're going to grow tomatoes.
Oh,
So first,
fantastic.
I'm going to put in some self-watering container mix. What's nice about this mix is that it's got sphagnum peat moss and some fertilizer in it too, so it's going to make it a little easier for all those plants to grow really strong in your garden. We want to fill this
This
up.
already has everything in it that you would need, like
It
fertilizer,
does.
all that.
It has all the things you need in it, but you might want to do a little supplementing too.
Okay.
Then I'm going to have you guys plant some tomatoes.
All right, well,
All
I'm
right.
ready to dig in.
Do
You
you
ready to
need to
dig in?
take them out of
No,
this?
these are called cow pots. They're made out of manure. Don't get afraid. And what you do, it doesn't smell or anything. You dig a little hole, plant the pot and all right down.
Charlie,
into,
where's the shovel?
Okay,
right
we gotta
here.
use our hands. Okay, let's
Dig
do
away.
it. Okay.
Come on, I'll help you. There we go.
How far down do you need to?
Well, tomatoes are great because you can actually bury the stem down
can?
up to the leaves here.
Okay.
We would obviously need a little more soil to do
Right.
this properly, but we're just demonstrating it here. But
Oh, it feels good to dig
Doesn't
into
it feel
the
nice to
soil?
have your
Yeah,
hands in
it
the
feels
soil?
great.
Yeah. So 2 tomatoes per this size container works really well.
Because these are going to grow, aren't they? They're going to get really
They're going to
tall.
get huge, exactly.
You know what I love about this is that you don't have to worry about watering it as often. I mean,
Right.
I sometimes forget.
Yeah, you
plants are
forget.
ruined, sure.
You become a slave to your container. You
Yeah.
can't even go away on the weekends
That's
because
right.
you're worried about your container
Or
garden.
you have to hire somebody to
come in and do
water
it.
Plants
for
or
it.
neighbors.
Right.
Exactly.
So these guys will grow up. They'll grow really strongly, but they do like fertility.
I'm
so
playing with the soil.
You're having fun.
Yeah, I am.
That's good. So you can get an organic mix like this. This has got a lot of compost in it and some other
Right.
organic fertilizer. Do that maybe once every 3 weeks or so. Or you can use this stuff, which I really like.
What
this
is it?
is worm poop.
Really? Oh, now,
love the
is there an issue with worms here?
Wait,
You can raise your
Really
own
is.
worms in worm bins, and then this is the liquid that comes from the castings from the worms.
Oh.
It's really high in nutrients, and plants love it. All you do is you just spritz it on your plants, and they'll soak up the nutrients right through the leaves.
And this is good
Great.
for the plant.
Yes, this is good for the plant. And good for the worms, too, probably.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's
Right.
going to draw a lot of worms.
So this is a great fertilizer to use to get your plants nice and green and lush and growing
And you can
strong.
and you can put this on any kind of plant.
Where do you
Pretty
buy that,
much.
Charlie?
Well, you can get it at garden centers.
You
It's
can,
pretty
okay.
widely available. Yep, it goes under a number of different names, but it is worm poop. That's what it is.
Okay, now you can plant any kind of plant in these containers.
Yes, you can. You can plant tomatoes. We have those in there because everyone loves tomatoes.
Right.
But you can also grow seeds like lettuce and radish seeds. And actually, a fun little trick to do is because these guys grow kind of slowly at first, until they really get warmed up. Is that you can plant lettuce seeds and radish seeds right around the tomatoes. Just sprinkle some seeds into the soil.
So you could start seeing results a little sooner.
So what you'll end up doing, you'll cover it over. You can make little rows if you like, depending on how you like to garden.
What did you just put in there?
Lettuce seeds.
And you just sprinkled it like that?
I just sprinkled it like that.
And you don't have to put it underneath the soil?
It's amazing.
Well, I just covered. Can you see any seeds?
No.
They're all covered. It's very quick hands. You got to watch that.
Yeah, okay, so you just kind of just lightly covered it with the soil.
Yeah, you just lightly cover it with the soil, water it, and what happens is the lettuce and radishes grow up and they actually mature in 20 to 30 days.
Oh, wow.
So you harvest that while these guys are still small. But then in about 30 days or so, they're going to be pretty big. So that time, they're starting to shade it, then you harvest all the lettuce and radishes, then you let your tomatoes grow. So in this one space, you've gotten tomatoes, radishes, and lettuce.
Now, Charlie, you're going to be at the flower show up in Hartford.
Yeah, later today I'll be talking on container gardening and vegetable gardening at the flower show.
All right, one big mistake I was telling you earlier, Teresa, is when I planted my veggies last summer, I forgot to label my plants, so I couldn't remember what was growing.
Yeah. Especially if you're growing like two tomatoes.
You picked it, I bet.
They look exactly the same.
Weeds.
You never know.
Some of these plants, when they're coming out, they look like weeds.
Right.
So you're not sure what. So I've got to label them. That's one thing.
You can make cute little labels that stick right in the soil.
I've got to do
Charlie,
that.
what is this?
And
what
that
are we
is,
doing with
well,
this?
that's you're lifting it up.
What do we do with it?
Yeah, help me out.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to put it right in here.
Okay.
Because,
will it fit?
It should fit right in there. Look
perfect.
at that, huh? And this is going to be your tomato cage because, as you know, tomatoes can get
grow,
pretty
right?
big,
Okay.
right? And they get huge. So this way they'll grow up over the top. You stick your hand in, eat a luscious tomato.
Well, that sounds terrific.
You're all ready to go.
Are you going to do this now? Are you going to try it?
Yeah, like a little fresh mozzarella on it, maybe some avocado.
A little
That
basil.
sounds terrific. Yeah.
There's nothing like getting your own fresh vegetables from the garden and taking it to your own dining room and eating it.
This is very informative, Charlie. Thank you so much for
You're very
being
welcome.
here, and good luck at the flower show this afternoon. And coming up next, the New Haven Library turns into Bourbon Street for their